The history of Myanmar. The origin of the people of Myanmar can be traced to the Indo-Aryans who first settled in the area in the 7th century BC and Mongolians who invaded the region under Khan in the 13th century AD, which some English influence added in during the British Empire era. The Kingdom of Bagan was first unified version of Burma to be created by King Anawarata. The kingdom reached its height of power in the 11th to 13th century AD and is attributed for the volume of religious structures in Bagan. The empire is then conquered by Mongolians who controlled the region until the mid-16th century. In the early 17th century, the British East India Company sent representatives to Burma attempting to establish trading posts along the Bay of Bengal and met with firm opposition by the Burmese people. Not easily defeated, the British continued their efforts which led to the Anglo-Burmese War in 1824 to 1826. Eventually, Burma will be annexed into British India and became separate colony in 1937. We are about to dig in the history of Myanmar English. Myanmar English is also called as Burmese English. It is the register of the English language used in Myanmar, or Burma, spoken as their first or second language by an estimate of 2.4 million people, about 5% of the population until 1997. The English language was initially introduced to the country during the British colonial period, spanning from 1824 until the independence in 1948. The British English annexed modern-day Myanmar in 3 stages over a 6-decade span, from 1824 to 1885. It administered Myanmar as the province of British India until 1937, and as a separate colony until 1948. During the British colonial period, English was the medium of instruction in higher education, although it did not replace Burmese as the vernacular. English was a medium of instruction in universities and 2 types of secondary schools: English schools and Anglo-vernacular schools, where English was taught as a second language. Burmese English resembles Indian English to a degree because of historical ties to India during British colonization.
On June 1, 1950, a new education policy was implemented to replace Burmese as the medium of instruction at all state schools, although universities which continued to use English as the medium of instruction were unaffected. English became taught as a second language beginning in the 5th standard. Until 1965, English was the language of instruction at Burmese universities. In 1965, Burmese replaced English as the medium of instruction at the university level with the passing of the new University Education Law the previous year. English language education was reintroduced in 1982. Currently, English is taught from Standard 0 or kindergarten as a second language. Since 1991, in the 9th and 10th standards, English and Burmese have both been used as the medium of instruction, particularly in science and math subjects which use English language textbooks. Because of this, many Burmese are better able to communicate in written English than spoken English due to emphasis placed on writing and reading.
The preferred system of spelling is based on that of the British. Although American English spellings have become increasingly popular because Adoniram Judson, an American, created the first Burmese English dictionary, many American English spellings are common, e.g., color, check, encyclopedia. The IZ spelling is more commonly used than the ICE spelling. Burmese English is often characterized by its unseparated consonants, similar to Indian English. It also borrows words from Standards English and uses them in a slightly different context. For instance, pavement, British English, or sidewalk, US English, is commonly called platform. In Burmese English, stage show is also prepared over concert.
For units of measurement, Burmese English used both those of the imperial system and those of the international system of units interchangeably, but the values correspond to the SI system. Burmese English continues to use Indian numerical units such as light and sikor. The Burmese languages, especially the colloquial form, has borrowed daily vocabulary from English, especially as portmanteaus with native Burmese vocabulary. For instance, the Burmese word for ball is baulon, let round ball, while the Burmese word for bus is batsaka, let baskar.
Burmese name represented in English often include various honorifics, most commonly Yu, Dao, and Sayadaw. For older Burmese who only have one or two syllables in their name, these honorifics may be an integral part of the name. In Burmese English, the K, P, and T consonants are unspirated, pronounced as K, P, T. As a general rule, as in Indian English. In addition, many words retain British pronunciation such as vitamin. Burmese English is non-rothic.